This week on What the Heck, we pick Tyler's brain, talk summertime, and find out what the heck we would rather do in all kinds of ridiculous scenarios. Crack a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome. I can't do it. I tried for you, Aaron.
That was good.
Aaron Lunzer, Kevin's lovely better half, told me that I should never do a southern accent again after last week's episode, but I thought that there would be no better way to start the episode. But we've made it, and I probably won't do that again, at least until the next time that I do it. But we're here. It's episode 4. I'm Collin Frederick here with Jake Reese and Tyler Heck. As always, gentlemen, how are you doing on this fine what day? Wednesday evening?
Happy hump day, boys.
Yeah, yep. It's good. A little warm out there, though.
Oh, man. This does not help my sweat issue. I know this is shocking.
I didn't know you sweat.
Yeah, I'm a sweater. And I'm wearing a sweater. But also
Nature's sweater.
nature's sweater. It's tough. It's a tough time outside. Though we've got a little sunshine, and it's got me feeling like perhaps we're out of the winter, springtime little blues that we had going on there for a while.
Yeah, finally.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about jumping straight from 45 to 85, though. I think maybe like a little time to hang out in the 65
we
to
had
70.
some 60s, though, back, 2 months ago?
Well, yeah.
Warmed up, and then it got cold, and now it's just
Went
made the
back.
next jump.
So that's okay. I guess beggars can't be choosy. When we live here, we're kind of accepting the reality of living with unpredictable weather.
Yep.
So it's not too bad. But what else you guys been doing? We just survived Memorial Day weekend. That was an adventure. I thought it was supposed to rain all weekend, which is good in my line of work, but turns out it did not.
And it was hot. I can't imagine that helped you guys out much.
It was not helpful. Nobody's that happy with us, but that's okay. Because, none of that matters tonight. We're here. We're having a couple of cold ones. We're still enjoying the Airheads because we have a lifetime supply.
Through probably next week.
Yes. If our lifetime is only one more week, we have a lifetime supply. But we're still enjoying those thanks to the Superior Reese and Tyler's lovely mother. Also, we got one request from a fan, our dearly beloved fans. One, Danny Hurley, is having a birthday. Happy birthday, Danny.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Danny.
birthday, Dan.
I would not wish you a happy birthday, but your brother is a nicer gentleman than you are, and he asked me to. So anything for Eric. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy your 16th year on the planet.
He's older than 16. Come on.
It's hard to tell with a guy like him. So we're back. This week, Tyler said that he's got a big surprise planned for us. He said it's something
No.
huge.
It's not that big.
I've been brimming with excitement all day long.
I've just had it planned. I said
Goosebumps.
last week I had
still
2
got
ideas.
goosebumps.
I'm just bringing the second idea.
He's bringing the heat. He's still got his fastball.
That's all I got. That
Straight
or I got
heat.
my way over the head.
Uh-huh. So we're going to check in with Tyler. And on the heels of a warm holiday weekend, we're going to talk summertime because at some point, we might get a little bit even more normal in terms of quarantine life. Perhaps things are going to continue to evolve one way or another, for better or for worse. But I expect to see some changes there, and perhaps the weather will hopefully not warm up anymore because I'll literally melt into a puddle.
If it stayed like this, I think it'd be okay.
This would be
if
okay.
this was normal summer.
I could handle that.
Like if this
Not
was
another-
July, I'm in. I can handle it. Any warmer than this, I'm not that interested, and I'll have to continue on my northern migration. That actually wouldn't be the worst. I feel like there's worse places that I could live than Canada.
Yeah, but you're gonna come back during their winter, right? Even not that we have much of a better winter.
Yeah, no, I think I'll stick it out. I could be one of those guys. I'll like live in a little hut, hunt moose and things. Maybe keep a pack of sled dogs, because I watched that movie one time, 8 Below. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of them out there, but that's a good one.
But we're not talking about sled dogs right now. We're talking about summer. And then we're going to try out a little spin on Would You Rather in the last segment. But first, it's time for this. Tyler, what the heck, man?
So during quarantine, I'm sure, like me, you guys have found some new television shows that you've gotten hooked on. Maybe shows that you have had on your list for a couple years, like me, where everyone's like, "Hey, you gotta watch this. It's so good." And there's like 4 seasons, so you just don't have the time to do it. But this isn't what we're going to be talking about. What I want to know is actually
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
What is
Curveball.
your
Look at him.
go-to all time? Like, someone walks into your house, this is probably on TV. And I'll bring up one because I know you guys are into it too. Okay. Impractical Jokers.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
If I could
Solid.
only have one TV show, that's probably the one I'd go with.
It is nearly always on my television.
Yes, like if it's on, I'd probably have it on. That's probably my go-to. But I got a couple other that like I put on. Right now, school in the morning. I'm sitting on my computer. I'll throw something on TV just to have in the background. So what shows do you have on that you're not necessarily watching every single second, but it's on in the background or something? You're like, hey, I'm kind of bored. Let's just throw this on.
Is it a specific TV show with episodes, or are we talking just anything on the TV? Because
Anything on
I'm
the
sure
TV.
most of you, you two would agree with me for sure. I'm sure if I were to come into your house at random times, which I never would, but sometimes peek in windows. Sports Center would be like, boom, on, playing, whether I'm listening to it or in the kitchen making dinner, or sometimes if I'm not even in the same room, it's still on. So when I come back in the same room, I didn't miss anything, even though I missed something. That's probably got to be my go-to. Although I will admit, since the sports world is shut down, Sports Center has become a little bit less.
It's a lot hard. Not a lot.
I'm not
harder to
getting into
watch,
Korean
but
baseball, and I'm
It's-
tired of hearing about the negotiations of things. And
I also think that Sports Center has lost a little bit. As Tyler's maintained his fastball over the years. I feel that of late, Sports Center.
well, we've lost some of the Sports Center celebrity originals.
Right.
The Chris Bermans, Stuart Scott.
Yeah.
The big
and
names.
They rotate them a lot more. Now I feel like
Yeah.
you watch for a couple months and then maybe you miss like a week and you come back and like, wait a second, where did they go? Oh, they're at night or they're in the afternoon, and it's hard to keep up with everyone they got there.
So, I'm with you. I like Sports Center, and I do watch it, but not probably as much as I used to.
And then shows, it depends if I'm watching TV by myself or if I'm watching TV with the wife.
Oh, like if it's in like the adult category. Those
No,
ones,
no, not like
like
that.
the ones you have to pay for.
No. Regular old cable TV, standard basic cable
Did you say
TV.
Areola TV?
She is not a fan of Practical Jokes, so Practical Jokers I watch, solo. I also love the show 2.5 Men.
No, yeah.
She'll tolerate it. Not a favorite.
What are your thoughts on the big changeover that happened in that show?
I must admit that I initially was not a fan of Weldon when he came to the show. He warmed up on me after the fact. But I think I'm still an original Charlie Sheen guy.
I agree.
I think
You
those
can't beat
are more
those.
fun.
I really like Ashton Kutcher, but I don't think that that's his best role, and I don't think that it's his fault.
Yeah, I think they forced him into that
Yeah.
position, and it didn't really fit
Well,
him well. And
They had to do something quick too, I think.
I think that
that
was
firing came up pretty
Yeah.
fast, so they were in scramble mode.
Mhm.
But I think another one that would be on almost any time of day when my wife and I, or even if she's not watching, is The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
There's some There's some science jokes in there. There's some education. There's some comedy. Very dry humor, which is right up my alley. So that's become one of
That's
our
code
go-tos.
for he's not that funny.
Super funny, like dad joke funny. That's how funny it is.
That's code for he's not that funny.
And then I'm winning her over on this, but I'm also a big Chicago PD guy. So I will watch reruns of Chicago PD till the cows come home.
Then do you watch all the other junk? Chicago Med and Chicago Fire?
Every once in a while I'll flip on Chicago Fire, but I'm pretty much a PD guy. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Med at all.
Do you think that has to do with you preferring police officers over firefighters and medical professionals in real life?
I think it has nothing to do with that.
Can you please power rank the branches of emergency services?
They're all number one in my heart. I just like the action on Chicago PD. That Hank Voight, he sure knows how to run a city. If you guys have ever watched Chicago PD.
No.
No.
Oh,
That's
wow.
negative.
You got to put that on your list. I think those are about my to-goes. Go-tos. To-goes. Used to to-goes in quarantine city here. Everything's a to-go order.
I guess I'll start with Impractical Jokers because that's always the one that I put on. Like I get into bed and I put it on, even after I take my glasses off and I can't even I don't even have a prayer at seeing what's going on.
You could listen to that show and find it just as interesting.
Right. There's just some funny things. But the other part of that is the second my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. So it really is kind of futile at that point. But I'll put it on in the living room too before my evening nap before I go to bed. So it's always on, and I'm sleeping through most of it. But when I'm watching, I do really enjoy it. The one that I tend to put on that I don't feel super obligated to pay attention to because I've seen the whole thing a couple of times is The Office. That's kind of my go-to background television.
I will fly that up every once in a while.
It's not bad. The Big Bang Theory was one. Like when I was living at home, that's one that my parents. It's always on at the same time.
Did you just compare me to your parents?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're kind of in the same age bracket. Jake is nearly appropriately aged to be my father. He's old.
Do the math.
But that was one of the shows that was always on, and it kind of is funny to me to think of the shows that were always on at my parents' house. Throughout the years, there was the phase I'd get home from school, I'd get off the bus, and Little House on the Prairie was always on.
Yeah.
And then that would roll right into MASH, another classic. So those were great. My mom always enjoyed those. And then there's you'd transition from that time of her watching that stuff in the living room to then my dad gets home from work and, getting ready for dinner. And it was always 2.5 Men and now The Big Bang Theory more recently. But what I really always appreciated was when he was getting ready for work and I was getting ready for school, and it was the classic shows like Coach.
Oh, yeah, I love Coach.
And what was the one with Michael J. Fox and Heather Locklear?
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, I can't.
Man, why can't I think of that?
Not sure, but Heather Locklear, also, if you're listening, give Tyler a call. She also is probably the age of my grandmother at this point in life.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone I'm associated with,
Old.
it happens. Such is life. You live and then you get old, and then you hang out with little kids like me.
And then you die.
And then you die.
So it's a circle of life right there.
But probably my favorite television show that I've seen all the way through a few times, but it's not one that I put on in the background. It's one that I put on to watch, is Friday Night Lights. Very near and dear to my heart. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. It's something that I really live by.
I see the passion in your eyes for that TV show. Those of you in podcast land, I feel bad that you can't see the passion in his face right now.
It's just burning. The fire. Much like the Sean Kingston song from middle school. That's another guy.
You just dated yourself.
I'd like to check in on Sean Kingston and see what he's up to these days.
Yeah, he hasn't
He's hanging out with MC
been
Hammer.
around for a while.
No. He's from the slums. I was talking. He did not hang out with MC Hammer.
No.
That guy is your age.
Both of them had about the same number of hits.
Sean
No.
Kingston for a little while there.
had
Me
some-
Love, Beautiful Girls.
Yeah, he had a couple.
MC Hammer had some big songs too.
See, I
No, he had
literally
one.
can only think of the one.
That's because it was bigger than anything at the time.
80.
Does Sean Kingston have pants named after him that people wore? No.
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody had Hammer pants back in the day.
Did you?
Everybody.
Please tell me you did.
I did.
Please tell me you still have them.
I don't think so.
Shame.
Even if I did, I'm pretty sure I outgrew them.
I'm gonna stroll
them back then.
I'll stroll up the road to your parents and see if we can dig up a few photos. I think that would be worth sharing on the Facebook page. That's kind of where I'm at with television. I don't watch a ton of it. Katie and I watch This Is Us.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Oh God, right in the old feels.
Kim and I have gotten into Last Man Standing on Hulu.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's so
We watched
funny.
a couple episodes, and then it was like, I remember watching Tim the Toolman Taylor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now how they make jokes about that, and they throw
And
in
there's,
like
like,
the
all the
Toy
people
Story
bring
jokes.
Everyone back.
Yeah. So we're currently watching it all the way through. We're on, I think there's 9 seasons, and we're on like season 8.
And they're still making it. I saw they
Yeah,
just renewed
they
it.
just got
online
renewed.
right
We're
now.
pumped that they just got it renewed. So
The only thing that really messed with me about I loved that show and watched the whole thing, and I really was not on board with the Kristen switch.
the Vandy switch wasn't very good either. Like,
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
that
that
I
was-
forgot
about
about
halfway
that.
through, we're like, "Who's this girl? Who's this
Yeah.
girl?" Well, in the original, Kristen's husband switched too from
Oh,
the first
yeah.
season.
The old Nick Jonas.
Yeah, Nick Jonas.
I wish he would have stayed.
Me-
That would have been awesome.
He would have been pretty good.
I think that the new Kristen is probably better than the first one.
I think so too, but I think partially because she's just been on longer.
That's true. So
Yeah.
that's really all.
Because I
it is.
I liked the first one,
True.
but I think the second one's done pretty well too.
I think Nick Jonas wouldn't have been as good of a Ryan because I would have had a hard time buying into his
yeah, it would have
far
been hard.
left Canadian bull stuff.
That's true, but I do love Canadians.
Well, you've expressed that.
Maple syrup.
Mandy,
mousse.
not a big fan of the big, tall, blonde Mandy, who was exactly opposite of the original
Right.
Mandy, who was short and brunette. Like, come on.
True. I struggled with that. And, then
And
there was-
Boyd,
and there
all of a
was-
sudden, Boyd went from being like a 4-year-old kid
He's
to
in
like
college.
13. It's like a small man child. I'm like, wait, that was just last year. Wasn't he in
Happened.
second grade? Now he's in high school?
I did catch the first episode of New Mandy. Had she made some joke about like, oh, did you do something different with your hair?
Yeah.
You're taller.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Come on, we get it. Okay,
Mhm.
just try and keep the same people on your show, please.
Right.
Well, that was because it got canceled. I
Yep.
remember. 'Cause I
Oh
looked
yeah,
into
Yes.
yeah,
it got
yeah.
canceled, and then when they were brought back, the original Mandy was already in something
Something else.
else, and they couldn't get her back.
Yep.
At that point, I mean, got to do what you got to do, right?
I forgot that it was canceled.
Yeah.
What a triumphant return!
That's why that
And
also that
whole
same
first
episode where they
episode
make
was-
jokes, they made jokes about like
Yes.
networks canceling
Networks, yeah.
shows, right? And they'd
And
like
just
look
looking
right at
dead
the
at the
camera.
camera.
They break the fourth wall. It's so good.
Yeah, that is a great show.
Everyone should watch it.
Tyler, I'd like to hear where you're coming in at with these TV shows.
I think also I agree with Colin. The Office is always on for me, which is funny because I actually tried to watch The Office like 4 times. Couldn't get through the first season. It was I really struggled. I remember watching the first 2 episodes when they originally aired, like back in high school, thinking this show is gonna be so dumb. Why am I watching it? And then one of my cousins actually just loved it. So I think I finally watched it all the way through maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Like I was out of college. And
My
I
God.
finally, everyone's just like, you got to
You've
get to
been
the
out of
second
college
season.
that
I'm like,
long?
fine.
Now he's old too.
Come on. I'm not that old. So
haven't
that was
done
one,
anything for
it took
5 or
me
6 years.
a while, but now it's on. I mean, I watch a show and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back to The Office. But it's always, I just throw it on. when
Do you
it's
have
in the
like one
background.
episode that really sticks out in your brain?
That's tough. There's so many good
There's
ones.
so many good ones.
There, oh man, I don't know. I have so many, and I'm watching it right now. So I have a lot of like, I'm mid season 3. Jim and Pam just got together.
Pam.
Yeah, Pam, with an M. It's 2 M's.
Katie has a friend named Pam, and there's not been one time that she said Pam that I haven't said Pam. immediately after. And she's not killed me yet, so that I think is good.
I really like the episode where they do the the Shroot Farms bed and
Yes,
breakfast.
that one's good.
One.
It's one of my classics
I
for
have
sure.
There's a lot of favorite episodes, but I will say my favorite opener of an episode is when Jim dresses up like Dwight.
I was just gonna say that, but I
That-
knew it wasn't a full episode.
Yes.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yep, that one I just watched.
Michael!
I think it was today. I think that's my favorite opener, and it sets up. I don't even think it has anything to do with the episode.
No.
None of it really
Not
do.
at all.
But that's by far my favorite opener. I think I always have Parks and Rec on as well, which is very similar to The Office. It's a lot of the same writers,
Yep.
same network and everything, so it's got that very similar feel. And that was another one where it took me a couple times to get through that first episode, but once I did, like,
Yep.
such a great show.
Now I just want to watch The Office.
Oh, so good. And then a little old one here, dating myself, but Boy Meets World.
Oh.
I always throw on. Now that I got Disney Plus, I can throw it on. I have the DVDs, but it's a little bit more work, so it didn't happen as often. But now Disney Plus, I'm like,
Do you ever watch the later show of that when he comes back? And
I did. I've watched it through like the second season. I watched it like when it first came out because I'm a huge Boy Meets World fan. So I'd watch it like, oh hey, the new episode's on, so I'd watch it. And then to a certain point, I was like, it was a good try.
yeah, I think they failed with the
It was
remake.
hard with Disney to do it because when Boy Meets World, it was on ABC and it was on Friday nights, so they could get away with a lot more. Where Disney, it was more of a kid show.
Yeah.
So it was hard, but I still watch it because they brought back a lot of the characters.
Mhm.
And they talked about a lot of the old storylines, so it was good, but I didn't really watch it. I think it only went for another season after I was.
Feeney had some
watched
good
it, so-
life lessons in there.
Oh man, I used to have a shirt, long time ago. It said everything I learned from Mr. Feeney, and it had his picture on the front. And
Totally
I-
finding that online for Tyler's
Oh,
birthday.
Yeah,
man,
that's
it was
pretty
an
good.
Awesome shirt. But yeah, I think those are my main, that and Practical Jokers. Yeah, those are probably the four that I'm bored, I need something on in the background, and those are my go-tos.
You know what is the last one I thought of for it used to be in my real early morning television habits, and now it's just in my heart. Saved by the Bell.
Zach
Ooh, yeah.
Morris.
Yeah, that was a classic, and that was
Yeah.
another one that they brought it back, and it
Mhm.
Yeah.
wasn't.
They had a lot of different,
Yeah,
not spin-offs, but
right.
different versions.
There's like the
with a lot of
college
same-
years, and then the
yeah.
one like the weird wedding episode.
That show has really developed into the Where Are They At Now VH1 shows
Mm.
on all those cast members where they've roller coastered their careers too, some better than others.
Yeah, but Tiffany Thiessen.
Mario Lopez, he's still out there rocking it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Of course, he was a wrestler on the show, so we would expect
He's
nothing
cool.
less from him.
I-
Wasn't he a state champ? I'm pretty sure he was a
think he
state
was.
champ.
Probably a
In
bum.
his own gym. They had state in their Bayside
in their
High
gym.
School gym.
Yeah, and
Isn't
he
that
won.
how it works?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
I would wrestle if I went to high school with Kelly Kapowski.
I thought you'd say if you look like Mario Lopez.
I mean, that would help.
That
as-
too.
that would help
Either or.
also. So, with the warm weather, it's got me thinking, what are you going to do this summer? And has that been affected by the fact that you're not allowed to do anything this summer?
Definitely has. You know, my kids are starting to play a little bit of summer baseball and softball, but it's going to be extremely limited compared to normal times. So that will take up some time. I think there'll be a lot less beach time just because of the mass crowds that will be at the beaches.
I was never a beach guy. Are you a beach guy?
My kids are, so I don't like sand. I don't like the mess that brings. I'd much rather go to somebody's pool or hang out off of somebody's pier where I don't have to get all sandy and gross. And
Everyone should get a pier.
yeah, I agree.
Uh-huh.
If only we knew someone who put in
Yeah.
piers for people.
Yeah, but we're full right now, so don't buy a pier yet. Buy a pier like in a few years.
Okay.
Won't you still be full in a few years?
No, apparently they're going to lose some peers in a few years.
Or
So
we expand capacity. There's, whatever.
many different ways to go. I get it.
We'll put you on the list.
We always, and this year we've kind of passed up on it, but a fan favorite has been the Memorial Day party for the Reese's.
That's
We've
so
only
weird.
missed it.
I've missed it all of the years, apparently.
You were like in diapers when it first started, so you can't really knock that. I mean, you've only been legal drinking age for how long?
4 years, 3 years.
Right.
That's
So that's only it counts. It's pretty much adults only unless you have a kid.
Can you tell me what 0 of 3 is statistically? I think
0
it's
of 3.
undefined.
Yeah, it's 0%.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So anyway, we always have a great Memorial Day party.
Oh.
We had to bypass it this year, obviously, with some of the restrictions on get-togethers and people and crowd space and that kind of thing. But that's been a fan favorite of ours. Family vacation, we always tend to go away for a week to 10 days, depending where we go. This year, it's penciled in. My wife and I took a trip to Big Cedar Lodge in Missouri. If you guys want a place to go, it's pretty awesome. It's outside of now I'm drawing a blank. Anyway,
Missouri.
You know.
Somewhere in misery.
But it's got a bunch of lodges there. It's right on Table Rock
Do they have
Lake.
a big cedar one, or
Yep, Big Cedar one, Little Cedar one. We went there
Medium cedar one.
for my birthday, actually, in the end of November, beginning of December. So they were all decked out for Christmas lights, and there's a little bit of snow and cold weather there, and it was pretty awesome. But in the summertime, you can rent stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, pontoon boats. They have pools. Table Rock Lake is like massive, like 1,200 acres. It's huge. And there's a bunch of different hiking areas, not on the resort, but close to it. We did like a Segway tour one day and through this hiking area, and it's
I
just
thought the paths were for hiking.
no. They actually like paved this one area so that they could take like tram tours. Obviously, you're going to bring in the elderly crowd and families of all ages.
So that's why you were there.
Yes, of course. But that's penciled in for the Reese family vacation this year, assuming that still all flies.
I think Tyler and I are free that day.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
keep you
it's
posted.
not like I got anything else going on.
Write that down. Big Cedar.
Big Cedar Lodge. Yep,
Misery.
Missouri. That's about it. I mean, we'll probably be spending some time at our neighbor's pool. Hopefully, they invite us over. Hint, Bergs, if you're out there listening in podcast world, we'd love to spend some time in your pool this
And
summer.
if you're not
Me too.
listening,
If you're not listening, you need to listen.
but you won't hear that message, so
I'll tell you outside of
We'll just get
podcast
on this
land
clip.
to get you on podcast land. I don't know. I think that's about it. Fires, bonfires. I think that's a given. Sit out, you have a few adult beverages with your friends, and burn some wood.
boy, when you say it like that, it sounds pretty terrible. Hey, do you guys want to come over and burn wood?
Sounds like work.
It does.
What about the old Frederick family? Got any big traditions? Anything you're looking forward to this summer?
Not really. We, if we're taking a family vacation, which we're kind of settled into every other year for that, but that's usually a wintertime thing when we're all slow. Summertime, we camp. We like to go camping. My parents have a camper, and they do a couple of trips, all pretty small stuff. It's more glamping, really. It's kind of a,
Do you go in the camper with them, or do you have your own?
depends on the situation. I own a tent and an air mattress and stuff, and like have the equipment to go by myself, and I've done that a few times. But like if I'm just going up for a weekend and I'm by myself or whatever, I might just crash in the camper because it's easier than setting up a tent, particularly if there's rain in the forecast, which there nearly always is.
Of
when
course.
my family
Every
camps,
time.
every single time. Every year we also do the big Austin family camp out in July in Partyville, which is not
Love
nearly
Partyville.
not
Nice.
nearly
It's
as
quite the
lit.
exciting party place.
You would think that you might party there. It's just a little dinky town. That's usually pretty fun. That's a real nice campground, so we go there. I don't know. I'd like to kind of buy a camper this year, but I don't know if that's in the cards for this year or not. You know, wedding savings and stuff. But Katie and I recently had the conversation because she kind of wants a boat, and I was like, so if I tell you that we're going to camp anyway, regardless of whether or not we have a camper, would you still rather buy a camper or a boat first? And she said, all right, fine, a camper. So I think I think she had a bad tent experience somewhere along the way, so she's not real hyped up about that. I don't mind it.
You gonna go big right away, or are you gonna start with like a pop up and work your way
I
up?
think I'm gonna go straight for the $100,000 motorhome.
Nice.
Yeah.
The big
Worth
fifth
it.
wheel.
Yeah, I don't really waste a lot of time, so
Makes sense.
I think we'll just sell the house and live in a camper.
That's awesome.
You could get renters in your house and then just see if they let you put the camper in the driveway.
Well, for that kind of money, the camper will not fit in this driveway. Really, for any kind of money, the camper will not fit in the driveway. If you're coming to visit, don't bring a camper because I don't have a place for you. But I think that's kind of a goal. Other than that, I think just kind of hanging out. I'd like to get back into doing some shooting. I love shooting trap and stuff. Big time.
I'd go shoot trap with you anytime.
Oh, it's great. I got a new connection.
And I got a
Might be
handgun, so going to a gun range is pretty awesome.
I know. I'm really close to.
I went for my first time before the quarantine, maybe a month or so, and we're down McHenry. It was pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
I went a lot when I was in school in Minnesota. They had like this chain of gun shops that was really nice and had ranges attached, and I enjoy that. But yeah, I love shooting trap, and I'm hoping that for the first time I can maybe get on some birds this fall. So I should perhaps I haven't gotten my shotgun out of the safe in a year now, so I've got to shake off the rust a little bit. So I like to get into that and keep training the dog so that perhaps at some point in my life I can be a real bird guy. But we'll see how that goes. But beyond that, I'm very much like a low key. Like my kind of summer fun involves usually a beer and a chair in some kind of location, whether that's around a fire or by a camper or by a fire and a camper or by a pool. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm very much like
Salt of the earth, my man.
in my old age. I'm less onto the big action sports and more onto the relaxing, low key kind of mellow times. But what about you?
I don't have. I mean, there's a couple things I do every year. Rock USA being one of them.
Which
Yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah.
is Rock Walworth this year.
So,
But we did
Get
learn
ready.
last weekend only one of my two guitars works, so we're gonna need to buy another guitar controller.
Well,
we'll get on that.
there's other rock instruments we could play. There's keyboard stuff,
can-
right? We got a keyboard at the house. I'll play the keyboard.
We can get what we need to get.
We'll
We'll figure it
fine.
out. So that's
If you
a
want to
big
sponsor
one.
the next episode, we need a rock band guitar for PS4.
Used, slightly used is okay.
That's fine. Even heavily used, I don't care.
Yeah. The other thing I do a lot, at least once or twice every summer, camping and tubing up on the Wolf River. That's always a big adult weekend for us. We usually camp 2 nights, go tubing down the river that Saturday, and you just kind of drink as long as you can and do your own thing after a while.
Do you think you'll need to use fun noodles this year to space out the tubes appropriately, socially?
I think 6 foot, yeah.
I mean, there's some big tubes already, though. You're pretty spread out. I have a feeling they might number. We just got the word that they're good to go. We already have everything. We had everything already, like, booked before this. And the girl who booked it for the groups, I think last weekend, said, "Hey, got the word they're opening up, so we're good to go for our weekend." We usually go end of June, early July. And it didn't say any restrictions, I don't think, but I would assume they might number groups. Like, we usually go maybe a group of 8 to 10, so we're not that big.
I don't even know that many people.
Well, I don't either. Whoever puts this together, like, brings us all together. I mean, I know them now because we've been going for a couple of years, but it's, oh, hey, I haven't seen you since last camping tube and trip. So I have a feeling maybe that's what they'll do. Because when you put 2 tubes, you're pretty spread out, like, at least face-wise. It's not like we're all laying head in the middle, and you got the cooler tubes in between, so
I don't know if I trust
I don't think I'm worried about that.
I think for your safety, you should stay home.
Well, the one thing I'm
Pool
wondering
noodle.
about
Or do
is
or do it by yourself.
on the bus to get there, because you camp at the
Oh.
end, and then they bus you up the river, and you just tube
Maybe
down.
they'll alternate buses.
So they have
half the
a bunch
capacity
of
at a
buses
time.
already.
They
So I
make
don't
everyone
know.
ride a donkey.
Well, then I'm out. I'll just camp and wade in the river. No.
They make you
Um,
hike back up along the river.
Oh, that's a long ways. We did a long one too. It takes like 6 hours.
Sheesh.
So,
I'm not sure I could be in a tube for
Um,
6 hours.
Yeah.
well, you're not always in a tube. Like when you get to there's a lot of deep spots, so you can hang like in the tube with your feet dangling down and
Yeah, but they're
not
sharks.
touch.
Leeches?
These sharks don't attack.
No stand by me moments.
Or the great outdoors. and they
Not
fall
that I've
asleep
had
in
or
the boat.
seen. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, camp every once in a while, bonfires.
I think we should arrange a what the heck camping trip. We can podcast remotely from the forest.
That would be awesome.
Ooh, get all the nature sounds in the background. That'd be fun.
All right.
Crickets.
I'll set it up.
'Kay.
My only other summertime tradition is that the last several years I've hosted Fred Fest, which is generally like a weekend-long extravaganza.
Who's Fred?
It's my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a
Cool.
nice guy.
He's not the worst.
If you're listening, Fred, nice to meet you.
Big ups to Fred. No, it actually started, my brother started it in college, and then it went away for a few years, and then I got to college and brought it back, and now I'm still
Stronger than ever. No,
I-
not,
honestly,
not so much.
in good faith, I can't say that. Like, we've had some good times, but I saw some things. But I think that that's going to be coming back, especially, it's usually like the first weekend in July, which this year falls on the 4th of July.
4th of July.
And all of the 4th of July stuff got canceled. So we usually do fireworks and stuff, so that might actually work out pretty
So
good.
you're going to drive
Nice.
to Missouri and buy some illegals?
No, I was thinking I might just drive to South Beloit.
Yeah, I suppose you could
Well,
do that
we're already
too.
going to be in Missouri. At
Oh,
Big
yeah,
Cedar
that's
Lodge,
right.
so we
We're
can
going
cool
We
to
go to
down.
Big Cedar
So
Lodge
that'll be
together.
Therese family plus us.
What about trips that you would on a normal time, quarantine aside, dream summer vacations? Do you have something? Either one of you guys have anything like, man, if I could take 2 weeks, I'd love to do what?
I would do, I think, a cruise. I'm not sure where though. I think in the Mediterranean would be
A Disney
my
cruise?
go-to.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because he's a clown.
There's no clowns. Come on. No, I think a cruise in the Mediterranean would be my big one.
I might be the world's biggest homebody. And not that I don't like to like leave my house, but like I have very little desire to like go to Europe. And I know Katie wants to go to Ireland, so at some point I'll probably do that. But I think that if I were to take a summertime cruise, it'd probably be like Alaska, but I don't know the timing of
Yeah.
when those cruises are available.
Don't you already do a summertime cruise every day?
That's
Yeah.
probably why he's not real excited by a dream
I'm the
cruise.
biggie in it. I spend too much time on the water. I'm not interested. No, I'm a huge cruise guy.
I've never been on a cruise in my life.
Oh, I've been on
I haven't
one,
either.
and it was unbelievable.
But I love the Alaskan cruise is on my bucket list for sure. Just
Ours-
got to find the right time of year to
Ours
do
was a
it.
Caribbean one, and we had one. We were supposed to go on one, and then it's been kind of weird circumstances. So we'll go eventually, but it's unbelievable. You can. What I like about a cruise is that you're not like limited to the offerings of one island or country. Like you get a little sampler platter, so that's kind of nice.
Sure.
You can really do as much or as little as you want, and there's a soft serve ice cream machine on the deck.
Oh, that's a bonus.
Yep, I'm sold now.
Sign me up.
That's what I'm saying. Which you wouldn't necessarily have to go on a cruise because you could rent one from Hires, but it's better on the ocean.
Probably, I would picture.
Uh-huh.
So we're planning I've been to Hawaii for my honeymoon,
What's up, big shoots?
it was a gift. So we're planning it in 2 years to take a family trip to Hawaii. It'll be when my kids graduate 8th grade and high school.
I think that Tyler and I are available that day as well.
I think so.
Sure, you pay your own way. You're welcome to tag along.
We'll have enough sponsorships by then, probably, for the show. So.
You'll just have to get some time away so we can.
Right, we'll have to
Probably do
record.
it.
Because it'll
We
be a
can-
business trip.
Podcast in Hawaii,
Exactly.
coming live to you from the shores of Oahu.
Your wife's going to love that.
Maybe
Actually, she
She can
probably
be a
would.
guest.
she could be a guest, and the kids.
Yeah.
Just let them, just whatever's on their mind.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they like me by then. Otherwise, they'll just sit here and give me goofy looks for an hour. And
But I
then-
remember
They
when
might do that either
when
way.
we were newlyweds and we went to Hawaii, all the fun.
I don't need all of those details.
Nope, not those. All the fun, outdoor activities, the
I don't need
four-wheel,
those activities either.
the four-wheeling, the helicopter tours, all the fun stuff we did, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of that stuff and doing some new things with my kids. It'll be fun. They'll be 14 and 17 then.
That's not old enough for those kind of activities.
It'll be pretty close.
Eesh. Yeah, no, Hawaii's. I've never been to Hawaii, but it does sound good. I'd probably,
It's beautiful.
I guess I can be ready to go there in 2 years. Actually, probably not, because that's wedding year, so
Oh.
that's going to be tough.
Sorry,
Yikes.
I'll run it by Katie.
I guess I'm not gonna have enough money to go on both of those trips either. So
Yeah, well, I
sorry.
guess the Reese family's out. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with summertime vacations because it's so hot everywhere. I'd rather. The big thing for me is that if I vacation in the winter, I get to leave this snowy hellhole and go literally anywhere else.
Well, and you're in a profession too that's pretty much your dead time, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you have more time in the winter to get away.
We do get slower in the summer. Kind of like July to October is a touch slower. So I do have some free time there, but not, I guess, necessarily as much as I do in the winter. But yeah, the idea of that being, a vacation being an escape. You get off a plane and all of a sudden it's 70 degrees.
Well, you got to
warmer
find the
than where
right
you
place
were.
to go. You don't always have to go hot.
Like Canada.
We went to Vermont a couple years ago.
Hey.
It was beautiful. We did a lot of cool outdoor things. We drove through New York, saw the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. We went to Niagara Falls.
That sounds
in
kinda
Canada.
Oh, I love Canada.
Had
This
you
is-
there, didn't I?
This episode is sponsored by Canada, the whole country.
Canadian club, especially.
No, I'm drinking Natter Days. That's very American.
But we could have that for next week.
I think we probably got some. But that's neither here nor there. Unless we're actually going to Canada for the next episode, which I'm not opposed to. But I think that this is the time when I get to. I need your guys' help. Is really what this comes down to. Because I've got these scenarios that I am being forced into, and I need some guidance from my dear, true, wise, loyal friends
I've
As
been
to
known to be an idea guy,
as
so
to which route
I'm
I
good
should
with
take.
that.
Like I have this thing coming up where so I'm about to be covered. Jake, why do you think it's better for me to be covered in bees than Tyler telling me that it's better for me to be covered in spiders? What the heck should I do?
Bees make honey. So if you're covered in bees and then they create a hive and then you can have honey,
Wouldn't that make me the honey?
well, you'd be a part of the honey, but they ultimately build the hive on top of you, so then you could just scrape out some honey and some combs and whatever you need when you need it.
But what happens if I were to sneeze? I feel like that might upset some of them, and then
I think once they get accustomed to your smell, they'd settle right in, and you'd just be a part of the beehive.
How do you recommend that I get honey out of my chest hair?
Comb it.
Ha! Honeycomb.
Nice. That was a good one.
Tyler, surely there's got to be a better option than being covered in bees. Why do you think I should be covered with spiders instead?
Well, spiders will keep away mosquitoes, so no more mosquito bites, right?
They're
And-
just spider bites instead.
Well, we don't know what kind of spiders these are,
Oh, that's true.
right? Also, bee stings. No, none of that stuff. Even accidental. They might like you, but you're still gonna get accidentally stung. Spiders, it's just gonna be really ticklish.
I do not enjoy being tickled.
They are going to create webs all over your chest hair and in your beard that you
Yeah, but
won't be able to
you
get
won't have
out
to comb it out. You won't even know what's what.
That's true. I'll be one with the spider web.
until you have dead flies just everywhere in your beard and
No, I already
spider
have that.
web. Oh, really?
Yeah, see, they're just gonna clean them off. That's perfect.
Honestly, if someone said, would you rather be covered in bees or spiders? I don't know how to answer that question because they both sound absolutely horrid.
Gun to your head, you have to pick. It says right here, I pick the winner. I meaning you. So,
Yeah.
winner, winner, chicken dinner says.
Are my eyes closed? Can I close my eyes?
I think you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, sure. Even closing your eyes, you're going to hear a bzzz, like you'll know the difference.
You won't.
Or
hear
you'll get
anything of
tickled.
spiders.
You'll get tickled and you'll know it's a spider.
This is the worst, but I think I would rather be covered in spiders than bees. Ew. Boy, I so appreciate your wisdom in helping me navigate that because I think that's a very real scenario.
Yes.
I presented that one to Katie and she almost crawled out of her skin and left the earth.
Yeah, it's not a great one.
No,
Not a great situation you find
That
yourself
would be
in
the
there.
worst.
I think you'll have a better one coming up.
What the heck would you rather do? Tyler? Wear a monitor that beeps when you're lying? Or Jake? Wear a monitor that beeps when you're attracted to someone?
Well, lying, that's easy. Just don't lie.
But
You can hide that.
You got to tell your students they did a nice job in class today.
I don't tell them all that. Sometimes I tell them, hey, you didn't do very well.
Hey, little Johnny, don't worry, you'll get it. Deep inside, you know little Johnny's never going to get it.
beep, 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 beep.
I tell them, I think they're going to get it, just maybe not with me. But I'm not, they're
just
sixth
start
grade.
speaking
I'm not,
very
Parent-teacher
vaguely.
conferences roll around, and your kids a joy to have in class. Beep, beep,
okay,
beep, 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 beep.
maybe that's where I'd get caught. But if I had that, I probably wouldn't lie about it. I'd have to say, yeah, your kid's a little shit. Sorry. And then maybe hope that it goes off. Oh, sorry, I'm lying.
Oh, shoot. You just like lie really quietly under your breath.
Yeah, like I just omit words, certain words.
I think it's okay to be attracted to people.
To the point where it's gonna beep every time it happens.
I don't know. I was just trying to look for the positives of that.
You're not wrong. You don't want the whole world knowing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I feel like that one's going to get you in trouble.
Do they know why it's beeping, or do only I know why it's beeping?
I have to assume that you're wearing a T-shirt that says,
This beeper goes off because I'm attracted to you.
like beep when you're
Well,
horny kind of deal.
I could just lie about my beep, and they wouldn't actually know because they
It
don't
just
know why it's
keeps
beeping.
beeping forever.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of not getting slapped.
I think it's the lie. I can't even vote for. I
It's
can't even argue for my
It's a
own
good thing you don't
beeper.
have both of those on at the same time, though, because
Oh.
then you're dead.
You're dead.
You're in trouble.
You're dead. No, honey, I don't think she's pretty at all.
What's going on again?
It blows up its beeping so much.
Jake, this one I think really applies to you because I know that you've considered it. What the heck would you rather do? Would you spend a year living at a nudist colony, as I know you've talked about over and over? Or Tyler, spend a year in an Amish community?
Hey, Adam and Eve came to this world, pretty much created a nudist colony. So going back to our roots, I would have no problem. As long as I would have to be in a southern hemisphere area if it was a full year round, because I'm not sure I could like live in Wisconsin.
That's a
and nudist.
Canadian nudist colony.
That would be the
yikes.
only. Then I'd have to stay indoors for half a year and just be comfortable that
No,
way.
you actually have to go outside. You got to gather wood and stuff.
I just
It
think
sounds like you're combining both of those for him.
going back to my roots of being nude and enjoying nature, I don't know anything that'd be more peaceful than that. No dirty laundry.
That
You don't have to worry about whose clothes are better than
That is
whose.
I
Very
hate.
positive.
I hate doing laundry.
You don't have to.
Especially
I
in the
ripped.
summer.
I ripped my shorts today. I better go get a new pair. Nope.
Oh, the
don't have to worry about
humiliation.
that.
I feel like you get over your insecurities after like day 3.
I was gonna say about day
Day
12,
3?
but
Day 12. You're going to take almost 2 weeks to get over it. You're already with these people?
yeah, because I'm gonna be walking around with my hands covering places until I feel better.
You don't have to be
you
a
know.
little.
Arm swing
Ding.
like Vince McMahon.
You're gonna Conor McGregor walk all over that nudist colony.
Not right away. Day 2.
All right.
Amish, though, they kind of have, other than like the naked thing, it's kind of similar. Because you don't have any technology. So you're out learning.
Nudists have technology.
Right, but the Amish don't.
That's a fail.
So you get to live without technology.
You're gonna miss Impractical Jokers for a year.
Oh, that's true.
You get to live life how it started. I mean, you get to think of all the things, all the skills you'll learn, and it's only for a year.
So, like, you're also hitting rewind, just not as far as to what Jake's suggesting.
Yeah.
To the beginning of man.
No, you get. I mean,
But at least in my nudist colony, I
That's
can still
fire.
watch Sports Center and Impractical Jokers, Big Bang Theory. I can still text you guys and be like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
in the nudist colony, do I have to wear the button that the thing that beeps when I'm attracted to somebody? Because
No,
that
because
would
it's
be-
obvious.
Yeah, no, there's,
Oh,
you don't have
right,
to.
you're
don't
right.
have
You
to
already
be-
have a
one.
natural button that
Dang.
beeps.
No, but I just think Amish, all the skills, all the things you're gonna build, all the farming you're gonna do.
A lot of
All
baked
the-
goods.
Yeah,
Sounds like a lot of hard work.
It does seem
it is for a year though.
It feels kind of smelly.
Yeah,
Is that?
they don't have the best hygiene.
Well, does everyone in the nudist colony?
Yeah,
Are
we
you
make sure
about
if
that?
you're walking around naked, you smell
you
at
didn't,
least
you didn't
solid.
start the nudist colony. You're just joining the
Well,
nudist
true.
colony.
He
before
does
long,
not-
I would be
he does
president of
not
the
write-
nudist colony. You know my personality.
He
I'm
did-
taking over.
Not write the bylaws.
Collin, you're the deciding vote here.
Honestly, I think that if I were to end up in an Amish community, I don't have a doubt that I could become a champion bowler.
I knew you'd be the Amish delight.
However,
You got a great beard already.
there are few things less comfortable than not wearing underwear. And for that reason, although I feel like the people that live in a nudist colony are not ever the people that that should be nude.
well,
Then again, neither am I, so I'll fit right in. Nudist colony.
yes. We would love to hear our fans email us at where, Collin? Where can they email us?
Oh, I think you're talking about whattheheckpod@gmail.com.
Certainly. I'd love to hear people weigh in on their own feelings about these.
You can also write on our Facebook page. What the heck? You don't have to go talking about my accents because
The one to open the show was much better. I'm sorry. You were starting to trail off.
I know I did. But yes, please interact with us because we'd love to hear about your horny buttons and your nude habits. Or anything else besides those two things. Along the same lines, I think that Jake should tell me why it's okay to go for a year without sex. And Tyler can tell me why it would be better to go a year without a cell phone.
Go ahead, Tyler. Let's hear what you got.
First of all, I'd like to preface this by saying that I'm not, frankly, really sure what sex is.
Well, you're not married, so you shouldn't know.
Exactly.
Other than what you learned in school.
Yes. With the banana demonstration.
No cell phone, so you still have laptop, computer.
Would you get a landline just to have something to call people with?
Honestly, I love landlines, and
Yeah.
I've half considered getting one anyway. We got
Nobody
a phone.
has a
We
landline
got a phone
anymore.
jack, right?
When I first moved into my apartment, I got one only because it was part of the package. But I hooked it up for like a week until I was sick of all the calls of people who I'm not going to talk to, and I just unplugged it.
I think that we should all put landlines back in.
No.
What if I put a landline in and we make that the official what
Just
the
the
heck,
what the heck
phone
landline?
Sure.
number?
Yep.
People can call that. There is a thing in existence where we can, our fans can leave voice messages for us
That we can play on the
that
show.
we can play on the show.
Awesome.
Get those voice messages.
Let's get back to Tyler.
Yeah. Cell phone, I think, would be easy because if you really wanted to talk to people, you get a landline. You still have TV, computer, laptop, all
My
that stuff.
laptop's enormous, and I don't think it would fit in my pocket.
No, but do you actually need your cell phone in a lot of the places you go?
Yes.
Need, not just hey.
What
it's
happens
good
when
to
you're
have this.
lost in your car?
Don't get lost in your car.
What if you're in a dangerous neighborhood in
Don't
the
go to a
dark?
dangerous neighborhood.
What if you
Whoa,
What if you got
stop.
shot
We're
and
in,
you needed to call 911?
What if I got drafted to the military?
then you wouldn't have one anyway.
No, but before
No,
I,
no, no.
before I
Before
Then
he
you
went.
don't have nope.
Before he
doesn't matter.
went.
I had to
Wouldn't
let,
have one.
I had to let my mom
Conversation
know.
one. If you get drafted, you're probably living at her house.
That's not true. I could get drafted right now. I signed
Then
up
you
at the
use
post
her
office.
cell phone. It's just your cell phone you don't have. You could use Katie's.
I don't know.
I think he's changing the rules.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It says
What if
you.
it doesn't have the number
specifically.
saved that I need to call?
Well, then you are out of luck. Sorry. It
Well, I
sounds
don't-
like you've already made your decision.
I don't wanna be out of
He
luck.
hasn't even made his argument yet.
I
I wouldn't even have to
do
make
tell.
an argument, and I think I'm going to win.
I'm not sure what argument I can make.
It's
A
just-
year is a long time.
year.
365 days.
Hopefully, it's not a leap year.
Ooh,
That
366 days.
Whew.
Yikes.
I just don't know if it's possible. There's no reason you should do it. If it happens naturally, that's one thing, but you shouldn't plan for it.
Sorry, what?
If a man loves a woman, Colin,
Yeah, can you explain? Let's start at the beginning.
I'm not saying go out and like pay for a hooker, but I'm
So
saying if
what's
you
that
just
mean?
enjoy your single life,
that someone
and
that
you're
hangs
not
up my
having
clothes?
yes, yep.
No, that's a hanger. Oh, wait, you said first. The maid. The maid is who hangs up, and it goes on a hanger. There is a hook on the end, but it's different.
You know, there are some people that believe that you really get to know who you are being single and not having sex for multiple years at a time. You just you can be with yourself.
Yeah, you can. Especially when you have a cell phone.
You
Couldn't
can do
do
that on
both.
a laptop and computer. You don't have to hold it with the cell phone.
That's true.
Well,
Put your
you
cell
have to
phone down on
hold
a
it,
table.
but not the cell phone.
On a table. Where,
Yeah, but then you got to
where's
find
the-
something to put
Coffee
behind
table.
Oh, where are you with the table?
It. You got to put something
Nightstand,
behind it to
whatever
have it
you
set
need.
up. It's just laptop.
I can't go any further. Tyler wins.
I shouldn't have even had to make an argument.
Whoever wrote that card is just wrong.
Throw it out. Terrible card.
Katie accused me of not being able to go a day without my phone. I feel like if I had to, I could do it.
It would suck. I'm not gonna lie. With how much we use it, with how much I use mine,
Right.
it would suck.
Between the calendar and
But
the
after the
weather
first
and
couple of days,
really important what the heck group chat,
yeah, that's true. Wouldn't have the group chats.
we could write letters.
Snail mail it. Email. It's faster. Still just chat.
You'd still have email on your computer.
Yeah. It's all good.
So I guess I'm going without my phone. And finally, This one is a situation that I've been faced with, and I've just not been sure how to navigate it. Tyler, do you think it's better for me to lick every inanimate object that I see? Or, and Jake, I know that this is something you're familiar with, do you think that it would be better if instead I was licked by every living thing that I saw?
Oh my gosh.
Can we switch points? Maybe argue the
I'm
opposite
good.
point?
I'm good on mine.
Well, I'm thinking that if living things lick me, I can always like wash it off real quick, and I can get away from it, and I don't think there's as much germs involved. So I think it would be okay. You know, dogs are cute. I mean, every time I come over here, Euchre's jumping all over and licking me.
What a great dog.
And clearly, I love it. You guys have seen that. I just love when he licks me.
Get off of me, you freak.
Those are exact. That's an exact quote.
You know, squirrels, kitties, puppies.
First of all, kitties are the worst. Second of all,
Whoa.
being licked by kitties is the worst. Because they got the weird sandpaper tongues.
But it's cute when
No,
they're
it's
purring
not.
and rubbing up against
No,
you, and they're
no.
licking you just a
Still
little.
not.
Their tongues are so small you barely even feel it.
No, it's fine.
It's not that bad. Come on.
I'd rather someone slap me.
I just don't think. I think for your own health, it's safer to have these animals all around you licking you that you can completely wash off right
What
away.
if it's
Yeah, and
somewhere
all
where
the
you
people too.
Yeah. Every single human you encounter is going to lick you in the nose,
Now, here's the thing.
eyeball,
If you're like,
mouth. They're
if
gonna
you're
lick your
at the
teeth.
store, is it
Come
just
on.
people you interact with?
No, everyone
It's
you
everyone.
see.
So you walk into Walmart, everyone's
Bam.
lined
What
up.
if I close my eyes?
Then they'll just stick their
It's
tongue.
still gonna
stick
lick
their
you.
I
tongue
don't
in your
see
ear.
them.
But they're
You
still-
said everyone I see licks me. If I don't see them, they can't lick me.
You're
So
gonna
you're
run
blind.
into a lot of shit.
I'd rather run into a lot
I
of
feel like
shit.
that's
than-
cheating.
No, because honestly, you cannot tell me that you would like walk into a bread display and knock that sucker over and then not open your eyes at any point during the collision.
So maybe one or two people lick me, but then I close them again real quick as soon as I got my bearings.
But what if you're at Walmart and they're wearing pajama pants?
I would no longer be
Under-
going to Walmart.
under-
I would change my lifestyle as it existed.
I try to avoid Walmart anyway, just in case
Okay.
somebody tries to lick me.
You're going to go into Walmart. You have to lick the shopping cart. You have to lick the bread display. You have to lick
Is
the
it-
clothing
now,
aisle.
Can you just restate mine?
Yes. What the heck would you rather do? Lick every inanimate object you see, or be licked by every living thing you see?
Okay, so with what you see, again.
Yep.
So it sounds like you're just gonna live at home.
And
You still have to lick all over your house.
wall and stuff.
And just stay in one spot. All you have to do is lick it once and then don't take your eyes off it. Right?
How are you going to make a phone call? You have to lick your phone first.
Close your eyes, just like people aren't gonna lick you.
What if the mailman comes to the door?
Got to lick him.
No, you don't have to lick him. You have to like lick his bag.
Yeah.
And his pants.
You're right. And all the mail in it.
Don't look in the bag. But I think all the immunities you're gonna get, you're never gonna get sick after that.
You're going to die before you build the immunities.
You're gonna get a lot of lint in your mouth. Ooh.
It's true.
I would rather let people lick me than have to go around licking everything else.
I
Think
agree.
about that.
But gun to my head,
Both are
I think
pretty
I'm done.
disgusting. I'm not going to lie there.
I think that the only way to really get to the bottom of this is for you each to live one day in the life that you just described to me,
Not
and
happening.
let me know how it goes.
That's a negative.
So coming up on next
Wow.
week's episode, they're going to report back on licking and being licked.
from the hospital.
From our deathbed.
Yeah.
I'll still be alive. I don't think I'll get as sick as he will by licking everything under the sun.
Can we start it once I get back to my apartment?
Tyler's not going to leave until next week when he comes
No,
here.
we're
and
starting it right now. You guys have to lick me.
I'm out. Oh wait, I guess that's yours, not mine.
Boy. Well, so Jake
What a
wins.
card to end on.
Jake wins the licking competition.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's better to be licked by grandmas and Walmart patrons and squirrels and venomous things.
They don't lick, they bite.
What if it's all part of the same deal?
No, biting and licking are separate.
How would you get, like, you see an alligator, how's it going to lick you?
You're going to have to be inside its mouth.
You didn't say biting and licking. You said licking. Somehow that alligator's got a
You-
tongue, and he would lick me and move on.
I don't think
That's
that
the
it's gonna
world we're
follow the
living in.
rules.
If we have anybody that's an expert in alligator anatomy that could explain how they lick stuff,
That'd be great.
call into our new landline.
We'll have it set up for next week.
I kind of think I know what that. Well, I don't off the top of my head, but I think I like can find out what that number would be because I think it's like my account number with
You don't get to pick it.
our internet provider. I don't think so. Is that a thing? Do you get to pick it?
I don't know. I don't have a landline.
I could be
didn't
like-
I didn't with Spectrum when I got it.
So it could be like 262
They just said,
275.
here's your phone number.
Heck,
Yeah,
cool.
That'd be
man.
awesome.
that'd be awesome.
If I could, I'd definitely have a landline, and that would be it.
Well, you can. It's for the show. Still, that'd be rude.
You can't take that
No,
idea
that's what
now.
I'm saying.
Very
Like, if we
selfish.
could do that, let's do that.
Let's do it then.
Yeah, we're in.
All right. So by next
Don't
week,
actually call that number just
Jake's
yet.
gonna lick a bunch of stuff. Yeah, don't call the
No.
landline yet.
I'm
but
not
we're working on
licking
it.
anything.
Neither am I.
Tyler's gonna
No.
lick a bunch
Jake's
of
the
stuff.
I quit.
licky.
I'm the licky. He's
I'll get
the
you my
licker.
letter
He's
of
gonna
resignation
go home
after
and
this.
get a big old slobber job on the face by Carter. That's weird.
He's in bed.
No, lucky.
But on the way out the door, I'm sure Euchre will start the game and lick me.
Yeah.
What a good dog.
What a good dog. He's just following the rules.
Yeah, I told him beforehand. And he's been practicing.
I told him 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Said, listen, the weird guy. He was not doing that much licking before because he
That's
hated
true.
you.
He
That's
was-
true.
Hair was standing up.
He's tough. All right, I taught him that as well.
Just with him, not with me.
Right.
He
He's
loves
scared
me.
of literally everything. But he's God, a great dog. I think next episode we'll just talk about Uke. And
And have 0 views.
how many views does this guy need, you know? It's not for my ego.
1 helps.
Well, I'll listen to it, so there we go.
2, then.
Speaking of ego, I was reading another card earlier, and I'm just curious. Would you rather have your face on money or a small town named after you?
Based on money. Money is everywhere. Small town's just a small town. People might not even know it.
Am I living in the small town?
It's up to you.
I think I'd go small town.
I for sure would go small town.
Because I'd never leave.
You're right. I probably would leave to like.
I
go
could
do
live in a
groceries and
small
stuff.
town named after you guys, and every time someone pays for something, that my face is on their money.
Yeah, but what if you're on like the $2 bill that doesn't actually get
No,
used?
I'm not.
Or a penny.
I'm gonna be on
Which
every
everyone hates.
bill.
Everyone does
Wow.
hate pennies.
That's not a dollar bill. Penny is a penny coin. Come on, you're a math teacher. You not know these differences.
It's not a money teacher. That's different.
Yeah,
You
I'll
learn
teach
money in math.
What?
Not in 6th grade math. If you don't know your money, come on.
Come on, you got some kids that don't know their money. I'm sure.
High school's got some kids who don't know how to use their money.
All right, folks. It's been a joy, as always, getting to hang out with you, getting to drink a couple of beers with you all. It's like you're right here with us, except we can't hear you talking or see if you think that our jokes are
And that's
cool.
why you gotta email us.
Love the
Get on the
feedback.
Facebook page. Or landline next week.
And if you don't know how to get in contact with us, just ask Eric Curley because he emails us all
He
the
knows.
time.
You can comment on our Facebook page. Everybody's on Facebook.
Everybody's on Facebook. We got a lot of likes, but we could use some more love on there. So share us. If you think anybody in your life would enjoy this just nonsense that we spew for an hour, share it with them. Share it with all your
Or,
friends.
even better, hack their Facebook
Oh,
and make them like it for you.
but then
For us.
also hack their brain and make them listen, because liking is only half the battle.
That's true.
Well, when you're
it'll
hacking their
pop
Facebook,
up.
do it from their computer and then start the podcast and just let it
Yeah.
play on their computer, and then it counts as a
like,
view.
But I
It's
don't
done.
need that. I just need the enjoyment and love in the hearts.
You want the numbers,
of America.
solely
It's
the
all-
higher numbers.
It's all about the numbers.
Well, yeah. I mean, so far we're doing great on sponsorships. We are out of the free beer, and we're gonna be
About
out of
halfway through the Airheads.
crushing the airhead. But what a delicious surprise! Next time we should talk about something.
We
cool,
need.
like,
So if there's anybody out there in podcast land, feel like you want to be a sponsor, we would love a sponsor for episode 5.
I feel like I've been doing this for a
Really?
lifetime.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're
Over
having
a month
fun.
already.
Look at us.
Man.
We started in quarantine land. Now we're in semi-freedom.
And
I
we're
don't know.
actively
It's just
taking
like-
sponsors for episode 5.
Yep. With whatever.
We're
As
open.
long as it's.
Paper clips or new printer ink because I keep printing outlines in funny colors.
Yeah. We got to fix this.
Or if you know anybody that wants to give Jake a lick, I can put you in touch. Actually, that would be a good Craigslist ad. I'll put that out this week.
Creepy
I'll
Craigslist.
do a creepy Craigslist.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking for someone to lick my face. All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. As always, finish your beer and crack another one because the night's still young. And we'll see you next week with some more banter that you didn't know you need, but you definitely need. And so do your friends, so share it with them. For Jake Reese and Tyler Heck, I'm Colin Frederick. Let's get the heck out of here.